Hi everyone, I'm Tom.
And I'm Sarah. Welcome to this deep dive.
Today we're diving into the really colorful world of customizable Buddha bowls.
Yes, and we're looking particularly at how they can benefit women over 50. We've got some fascinating stuff to explore.
Right. We're looking at the nutrition, obviously, but also that mindful eating aspect, how it all connects.
Exactly. The goal is to unpack how these, seemingly simple bowls can be a really powerful tool for a vibrant lifestyle.
Absolutely. We've looked at what goes into them, the nutrients from plants, maybe even some animal sources too, and how that whole mindful eating practice ties it all together. I want to give you a clear picture, really.
Yeah, why these easy meals can be so beneficial.
Okay, so let's unpack this. For anyone who isn't quite sure what is a Buddha bowl, it sounds kind of cool.
It does, doesn't it? Essentially, it's a single bowl, usually pretty full, with lots of different foods, often layered.
Layered, okay.
Yeah, you'll usually have a base, like maybe quinoa or brown rice. Then lots of colorful veggies, roasted or fresh.
Right.
Some leafy greens are pretty standard too for those vitamins. And then a plant-based protein like chickpeas or lentils maybe.
Okay.
And definitely some healthy fats. Avocado is popular, or nuts and seeds.
So it's like a nutritional power pack in one dish.
That's a great way to put it. It really is a powerhouse because all those parts work together.
How so?
Well, you're getting a good balance of carbs, proteins, fats, the macronutrients, but also, tons of micronutrients, vitamins, minerals.
Okay.
And the best part, they're so customizable. You can tweak them for exactly what you need or like, which is super important as nutritional needs change, maybe especially for women over 50.
Makes sense. And the name Buddha bowl, where does that come from? Is there a story there?
Well, people often link it to the idea of a full, round bowl, maybe like a Buddha's belly, suggesting balance and abundance.
Yeah.
But more than that, it sort of encourages mindfulness,
Yeah.
Eating with intention, being grateful for the food. It's about the whole approach, not just the ingredients.
Right, that mindful connection. Okay, let's dive into some of those key ingredients then. Quinoa comes up a lot. What's so special about it?
Quinoa's pretty unique. It's a complete protein,
Meaning,
meaning it has all 9 essential amino acids, the ones our bodies can't make. You get about 8 grams protein in a cooked cup.
that's pretty decent for a grain.
It is, and it's great for maintaining muscle mass. Plus, it's high in fiber, about 5 grams a cup, which is good for digestion, blood sugar.
And iron too, right?
Yep, about 15% of your daily needs. Good for energy levels.
Okay, hitting a lot of bases there.
Yeah.
And did you mention magnesium as well?
Exactly, and that's interesting because some studies link good magnesium intake with lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, so potentially helpful there.
Stress reduction.
And it's vital for bone health too.
Okay, good stuff. Another common one is sweet potato. Very colorful. What does that bring?
Oh, sweet potatoes are fantastic. They're packed with beta carotene.
Which our bodies turn into vitamin A.
That's the one. Essential for your immune system and eye health. Plus, they've got vitamin C, which helps with collagen production. Good for skin.
Immunity, skin.
Yeah.
Nice. What about beetroot? Amazing color.
That color signals powerful antioxidants. But beetroot is also rich in nitrates.
Nitrates, what do they do?
They've been shown to help improve blood flow, which can actually help lower blood pressure.
Really?
Yeah. And those antioxidants also fight inflammation, which could be really beneficial for joint health as we get older.
Good to know. Okay, and avocado.
Yeah.
Everyone loves avocado.
Yeah, for good reason. It's full of monounsaturated fats, the heart-healthy kind. They help with cholesterol levels, keep skin supple. Plus, they're a decent source of potassium, which helps balance blood pressure.
It really does feel like every ingredient pulls its weight. What about leafy greens? Kale? Spinach?
Yeah.
They seem essential.
Oh, absolutely fundamental. Kale and spinach are brilliant sources of calcium and vitamin K.
Both key for bones.
Exactly, really important for bone density. And they also give you folate, which is great for brain health and can play a role in hormonal balance too.
Okay. And just quickly, you mentioned chickpeas for protein and chia seeds or walnuts for omega-3s.
Yeah, chickpeas are just a super easy way to add more plant protein, helps you feel full, good for muscle. And chia and walnuts offer those plant-based omega-3s, which have tons of benefits.
Right. Okay, so that covers a lot of the plant side. But what about adding dairy or lactose-free options? How do they fit in?
Good question. They can add extra nutrients and, cater to different needs or preferences. Greek yogurt's a classic.
Why Greek yogurt specifically?
Well, it's packed with probiotics for gut health, and it's got a good amount of calcium too for that bone support again.
Okay, but what if someone's lactose intolerant?
No problem. Almond milk yogurt is a really popular lactose-free choice. Just check if it's fortified with calcium.
Ah, good tip. Fortified.
Yeah. Cottage cheese is another option some people like. It gives you casein protein. It's a slow-releasing protein. Good for muscle repair, maybe especially if you have it later in the day.
Interesting. Any other lactose-free ideas?
Sure, things like cultured coconut yogurt can work well, add that creamy texture, or fermented soy products.
Okay.
And it's worth remembering, some people with lactose intolerance actually find fermented dairy, like some yogurts or kefir, easier to digest. Plus, those fortified plant milks definitely help talk up calcium if you avoid dairy.
So loads of options there, really. Now, moving beyond that, what about seafood and white meat? Can they fit into a Buddha bowl for women over 50?
Absolutely. They can throw in some really crucial nutrients that become even more important with age. Salmon is a prime example.
Omega-3s, right?
Exactly, loads of them. And they're famous for reducing inflammation, supporting brain health, lowering triglycerides, and LDL cholesterol.
Wow.
And there's even research linking them to a potentially lower risk of dementia. Plus, salmon gives you vitamin D,
Which is good for it.
immune function, and mood regulation. Really important stuff.
Definitely. Okay, what about chicken breast?
Chicken breast is just a great source of lean protein. We keep talking about muscle mass, but it's so key, especially as metabolism can slow down. Lean protein helps maintain it.
Right, preserving muscle. And sardines made the list. That seems maybe less common.
Huh. Maybe less common, but nutritionally, they're amazing. They give you calcium, surprisingly, from their tiny edible bones.
Really? From the bone?
Yeah. And they're a good source of vitamin B12, which can sometimes be harder to absorb as we get older, so often need supplementing.
Okay, sardines. Might have to try that. It's incredible how targeted you can make these bowls. Let's really zero in now on the benefits specifically for women over 50. How do all these ingredients address common health concerns?
Okay, yeah, this is where it really comes together. Let's start with bone health. Huge concern, right? Osteoporosis risk increases. So you've got calcium from greens, dairy, or those fortified alternatives, plus magnesium from quinoa, all working together to support bone density. Aiming for that 1,200 milligrams of calcium daily is the goal.
Makes sense. And heart health, another big one.
Big one. So the healthy fats from avocado, those nitrates from beetroot helping blood flow, and of course the omega-3s from salmon or sardines. They all contribute to reducing cardiovascular risk, managing cholesterol.
Protecting the heart.
Exactly. Then there are hormonal changes, menopause.
Right. Can food actually help with that?
Well, the high fiber content from all the plant ingredients is really interesting here. Fiber can help regulate estrogen levels by binding to excess estrogen in the gut.
So it could potentially ease some symptoms.
Potentially, yes. It helps with elimination.
Good to know. What about metabolism and weight management? That often comes up.
Yeah, because these bowls are usually full of nutrient-dense whole foods, they tend to be lower in empty calories than, say, processed meals, which helps with weight management.
And naturally more satisfying too, probably.
For sure. And again, that lean protein is key for keeping muscle mass, which helps keep your metabolism humming along.
Okay. And finally, brain health and mood. So important for quality of life.
Absolutely crucial. So omega-3s, again, from fish or seeds, antioxidants from all those colorful veggies like beetroot, folate from the greens, they all help protect cognitive function.
And mood.
Vitamin D from salmon has strong links to mood regulation. So yeah, it covers a lot of ground.
It really does feel holistic.
Yeah.
You mentioned aiming for about 25-30 grams of protein per meal. How easy is that to hit in a Buddha bowl?
It's actually very achievable. A decent portion of chicken breast or a good scoop of Greek yogurt or even just being generous with chickpeas or lentils that can get you there. Pretty close.
Okay, so it's doable without overloading.
Yeah, and it's important for fighting off sarcopenia, that age-related muscle loss.
Right, and we can't forget gut health.
Definitely not. The probiotics in yogurt or other fermented additions are fantastic for supporting your gut microbiome.
Which helps with things like bloating.
Yeah, it can ease bloating and also helps you absorb all those other great nutrients we've been talking about more effectively.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how that mindful approach you mentioned earlier.
Yes. This is so important. It really enhances the whole experience and the benefits. Mindful eating is basically just paying full attention when you eat.
What does that look like in practice with a Buddha bowl?
Well, it can start even before you eat. Like, take a moment while you're arranging the bowl, notice the colors, the different textures, smell the aromas.
Engaging the senses.
Exactly, making it more intentional than just, throwing food together.
Okay.
And then when you eat, try to eat slowly, chew properly. This really helps digestion, but it also gives your brain time to catch up with your stomach.
Ah, so you recognize when you're actually getting full.
Precisely. We often eat so fast, we blow past those signals.
Guilty as charged sometimes.
Most of us are. Another thing is a quick gratitude check. Just pause for a second, appreciate the food, think about how it nourishes you, and really tune into the sensory details, the creaminess of the avocado, the crunch of the carrot, the richness of the salmon maybe. You could even think about where it came from.
It sounds like it shifted from just refueling
Yeah.
something more.
It really does. And it's particularly helpful as metabolism can slow a bit with age. Eating mindfully makes you less likely to overeat and helps your body make the most of the nutrients.
So how you eat matters just as much as what you eat.
In many ways, yes. And there are psychological benefits too, fostering that intention, that gratitude. It makes eating a deliberate, nourishing act, not just a routine. Deepens the connection.
This is all incredibly useful. Let's get really practical now. How can someone listening start putting these customizable bowls into their routine?
The beauty is the flexibility. Seriously, tailor them. Your health needs, what you like, what's in the fridge, it all works.
So don't feel locked into one recipe.
Absolutely not. Rotate ingredients, use what's seasonal, adjust portion sizes to make sure you're getting that balance without overdoing calories. Be playful with it.
Okay. Any general rules of thumb for building one? A template, maybe?
Yeah, a simple template helps. Think. Base first quinoa, brown rice, maybe even greens, then load up on colorful veggies. Add your protein plant or animal, drizzle on some healthy fats, dressing, avocado, seeds, and then maybe that optional dairy or alternative like a dollop of yogurt.
Base, veggies, protein, fats, optional extras.
Got it.
Pretty much covers it. And if someone has, say, that lactose intolerance we talked about.
Super easy swap. Use the almond yogurt instead of Greek. Choose tofu instead of cottage cheese. The customization makes it work for almost anyone.
Fantastic. This has been such a thorough deep dive. If we were to boil it down, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
I'd say the main thing is that Buddha bowls are just a really great, versatile, super nutritious option.
Yeah.
Especially beneficial potentially for women over 50.
Right.
They let you pack in a huge range of ingredients tailored to support everything from bones to heart to brain health. And crucially, when you pair that great nutrition with mindful eating,
Boost the benefits?
exactly, it becomes a really holistic approach to feeling good.
A powerful combination. So for you listening, maybe think about this. How might intentionally building and mindfully enjoying a Buddha bowl shift things? Not just your nutrition, but maybe your whole relationship with food and well-being.
Definitely something to ponder.
It really is. Thank you so much. This was incredibly insightful.